Today I am learning about throwing and catching so that I can work on overhand and underhand throwing. I'll know I've got it when I can use all the correct mechanics when throwing.
All right, guys, ready for your first activity with throwing and catching, okay? This is gonna be a little different because not everybody has the same equipment. For those of you at home, I'm gonna show you a few things that you can use, okay? If you do happen to have some type of ball, that might be useful, okay? However, I do need to have some safety precautions in here. If you were doing it inside, you need to talk to mom or dad on an appropriate place to be throwing and kind of catching the ball. I don't want things getting knocked over or knocked off the wall, so you need to talk to mom and dad to see where you need to be. If you can go outside and do it, and that's okay, great. Don't go out in the rain or at night or anything like that. Be smart, but you need to find an appropriate place to do this. If you cannot, then we can have an alternate activity for you. But if you do happen to have a ball, I have a couple I'm going to show you. One I have, just a simple tennis ball. That was the one I showed you in the video, okay? Tennis ball's soft and a little firm at the same time. It is bouncy. That is the idea. So bouncy does help in some situations, okay? Another type of ball I have, this is called like a wiffle ball. It's full of holes. It doesn't go very fast. Well, it can go faster than you think, but it doesn't go super far and hard because it's light. It bounces a little bit too, okay? This can leave marks on the wall and so forth, so you need to be careful. Another one, this is just kind of like a Nerf, kind of squishy Nerf ball as I call it. These are kind of bouncy. Some are bouncy and some aren't very bouncy. It just depends on what kind you have. This one's one of the more denser ones, so it's a little bouncier, okay? For some of the other stuff, if you happen to have a scarf or like a bandana, more so a small scarf, not like a long scarf that you wear in the winter, that probably won't work, but like a bandana kind of thing, a scarf, we're gonna be using this to catch, okay? The other thing, if you don't have a scarf, guess what? You have a grocery bag. This works out just perfect, okay, to have, and this is your scarf that you can pretend to use, okay? Works just the same, just as good, okay? Another thing, if you don't happen to have any ball in the house at all, and that's okay, because sometimes I don't or I can't find them, take a pair of socks. Make sure you ball them up into a ball, and you have a nice, soft, squishy Nerf ball that you can use. Okay, so you can pick whichever you want, up to you. If you have a mixture of them, you can use a mixture of them. That's on you, okay? All right. All right, for my first one, I'm going to go ahead and use my scarf, okay? You can use your plastic bag or whatever you might have, bandana. My scarf, I'm going to go ahead and leave it open. If you ball it up, you can do that, but that means it usually falls a little faster. If you leave it open, it usually falls a lot slower. It'll kind of go zigzaggy, okay? But with this, we're working on underhand throwing because underhand throwing, depending on where you release it, is where it will go. So if I want it to stay in this area, I'm just gonna kind of release it up in the air. If I wanted it to go forward, I would release it somewhere in front of me here so that it could go wherever the direction I was trying to get it, okay? So for this first one, this is a self-pass, self-catch kind of thing. So you were gonna pick, remember, the hand that you write with, okay, is gonna hold the scarf, all right? You're gonna do all the correct mechanics. Belly to target doesn't really work because your target's right where you are, so you're just gonna face the direction, okay? You're gonna have your low arm swing back, step with the opposite foot, and then follow through up. So you're gonna throw it up, boom, throw it up. Now, obviously, while it's up in the air, you kind of have to act a little quicker. It'll fall slowly, but your job is to catch it, okay? So you're gonna catch it. Remember, pinkies together if it's low, thumbs together if it's high, and you're going to reach out and grasp it with your hands, okay? Keep your eyes on the scarf. So I'm here, belly to target, low arm, swing back, step with the opposite foot, toss it up, boom, okay? You're gonna practice this over and over again. Get comfortable with it, okay? If you get bored and tired of that one, switch to your non-dominant hand, but you still have to work on all the same mechanics. You have to keep your low arm, swing back, step with the opposite foot. That is different now if you change arms, and then follow through and then catch. Okay? Okay, now I'm upgrading from my sock ball to my tennis ball, or a ball that kind of is bouncy. You can still use a sock, it will work. Just I was trying to get it to come back to me a little quicker. Now what I'm going to do is now I'm going to throw away from me. So now it's not up in the air, it's going to go to, not a partner unless you have someone at home that's wanting to catch with you, but I'm going to throw towards a wall. I am using a brick wall. Okay, this is in my gym. If your house has a brick wall that you are allowed to use, you may. However, I don't want you to be throwing at the wall and putting holes in the wall. You need to be smart. I'm reminding you people at home, okay? As well as us in the classroom. I'm going to do everything I normally do, and I'm going to step with the opposite foot, follow through, and I'm going to let it go off the wall. And you have a couple options. If you're really close, you can throw it off the wall and catch. Or you can let it roll back, bounce back to you and catch. I recommend if you're trying to figure out how to catch it, let it bounce a few times before it comes to you. So bounce, 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 catch, or bounce, bounce, catch, or maybe one bounce and then catch. Okay, so I'm going to show you a couple of ways of doing it. Okay, so here's the hardest one. Belly to target, low arm, swing back, step with the opposite foot, follow through, and catch. Okay, now, if I want to make it a little easier on myself, I can let it bounce once. All the correct mechanics, bounce once, catch. Throw it off the wall, bounce once, catch. Now you can try it twice, and you might back up further too, that is okay. You can go here, I'll let it bounce 1, 2, catch. Okay, you probably don't want to go more than 3 because then it's just going to get lower and lower and lower, and it's going to be much harder to catch. Okay, but that is how we were working on our throwing.